Necromancy on demons. In the ancient Akkadian text, there was a fragment saying that the goddess Ishtar, descending through 14 gates of hell, seen demons so weird that she didn't quite get them, the goddess Ishtar herself. So who am I to convey lectures on demonology? Well, out of 19 years of experience I had exploring the Black Earth and the underworlds of it, I may say that I posit that demons are both the children of nature, underworld, and the gods themselves. Now, as for the doctrine of the fall, invented by Enoch, of the evil fallen demons from heaven, that's bullshit. Why do I posit though? Because I'm trafficking with those entities and those forms since years. Are they dangerous? Inasmuch as a tiger is to a Hindi devouring it, they act according to their nature. The Neoplatonics term them as the turbulent, chthonic forces of the underworld, of Hades. Some call them the Erinyes, but Erinyes were more specific in the Orphic context, understood as the vengeful, wrathful, hurt, malevolent shadows of the dead. Not your demons, not your family, ancestral spirits, not the shadows of your diseased beings, although they are preserving. Now, the dead are no better than the living, although they are loosened from the, let's say, grasp of time. That means that necromantion, divining from the dead in Plutonia in the ancient times, was happening because the dead weren't governed by time in as much as we are in mortal flesh. Now, back to the demons. If demons antecede the existence of human beings, they are superior to human beings. Now, let me say that not a daimon as a personal god, goddess that is dispensing the fates and is your like a Socratic genius or Juno, but demon in the sense of a chthonic black form that may be earth, water, fire, or air. Now, there are various types of black fire, and in the subterranean world, subterranean mean dimensions, not us in going into caves. Although you may say that when I enter the Warsaw subway, I go to the surface of certain spacious dimensions that the flocks of the dead, like shoals of fishes, are upon a great abyss. Now, the demonomancy or the pseudomonarchia daemonum is based on hierarchies of power and of influence and of executive. Combining the Bardo Todol with the Egyptian Book of the Dead and the Hellenized idea of the Styx, Acheron, and Hades and Tartarus. Hades was a place in between the moon and earth and below. That means that we have airy demons, flying demons, black forms, all forms of church gargoyles, the black-winged darlings of Saturnian forces, squadrons of death. Anyway, this is like a little boast, but to the gist of it. Are they your enemies, inasmuch as a tiger is to a Hindu? Can you befriend them? If they find something interested in you that correlates with them, you may have demonic guardians that are a form of a befriended person. You are still an inferior thing as a mortal being in flesh, but they may find some supportive idea to protect you. Now, how is that? Why some people go insane on exploring those forces? Because these forces are not compatible completely with the human mind. Some may have human intelligence. In other ways, they may play tricks. They may subvert everything you do. They may teach you, but then you slip and you fall and So, why is so? Let's take Goetic demons for instance. These are the Hadesian sublunar airy spirits and the cohorts of generals, princes, kings, commanders, and usually people communicating with the goetic forces don't connect with the top tier forces. They usually connect with the soldiers, with the familiars, and the spirit of those forces, sometimes presenting and masquerading themselves as the top tier infernal in the, let's say, metaphorical way, forces. So, in other words, how did people come about through those medieval grimoires and so on to get to know them? Do they have names or seals and so on? Historically, if they are derived from humans or incarnated in humans and wore human masks, they may. But by and large, some seals and forms are preferred, some are engineered as masks for them to wear. For example, when I was engaging in the Uranian working with my maestra in years ago, there was not a single description of an Uranian intelligencer spirit. So I decided to conjure names, symbols, and masks for the Uranian sphere so that the forces, ancient primordial forces, may wear those masks and become named. Because if something is named, it is ontologically valid. It doesn't mean you command them, it means that you gave them name and seal and a front. So what about those people who play Demonology, for example? Well, this is a dangerous business, and I'm not here to advise you for or not for. It is always advised that you are backed by a higher power of gods, of goddesses, of providence during such operations. This is a traditional idea, not because some Judeo-Christian prick told you to believe in as their god. It is to have a backing of a more powerful force that is ontologically great, that protects you during the operations with highly combustible material. Now, whether we go to the idea of the tunnels of Seth, the interstellar, chthonic, subterranean, let's say, cosmic hells connections, epiphany of the black sun, well, these are very difficult operations. Why is that? Because the deeper you go down there, the more chaotic it becomes. Then you have chaos as total form at 0 point. But when total unity meets with total form, they at first create perfect order and then splinter into more chaotic, turbulent forces. So that's much for the idea of the, let's say, Kabbalistic idea of the Kulifot, that there is a mirror and everything is nice and all that. No, it's not. And I assure you that it's not, and it's more chaotic and turbulent than you may think. At the surface level, it may be ordered. Then, as the deeper you go, the more, well, citing Ishtabak, the more weird forces you encounter. Some chthonic graveyards of ancient ante-primordial life forms that gave their forms back to chaos. Lovecraft. Lovecraft connected with some wrong tunnelings, not out of his intent, but because, well, Howard Phillips Lovecraft was like a little avatar of those forces, and he was terrified as a human being. He wrote horrors about it because sometimes human mind encountering this total weirdness and eeriness goes mad. Goes mad or creates horror, thriller. So, is there cruelty? Yes. Is there plenty of sadistic intent, bestiality? Yes. Why? Because that's how those forces mix with human mind sometimes. Do I advise walking with them? Not without protection. Do I respect them? Very much. I love them. So, what didn't I cover? That wasn't supposed to be a total lecture of how to walk or cooperate or how to go into the demonic realms, but a shortcut philosophical framework of how it works. And yes, they are also demons of cosmic origin. There are nice demons of mortal origin, very proxy humans, but the devil you know, right? And My advice is don't work with something that may destroy your nature. Or if you burn your fingers on something, that means that you're either warned, you didn't go deep enough, or you're going the wrong way. Thank you.